Well, let's ask again. Alison Young, Pennsylvania-based Republican political strategist who served as a senior staffer in the George W. Bush White House. Thanks so much for coming back on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
It seems to me insane that Republican voters would support a guy who lost by 15 points, but it seems that they are.
Yeah, that poll is definitely troubling. Look, it's been dismissed, and I would agree with some of this. A lot of it is name recognition. He went back to the state Senate. He's still been in the public eye since the election. Dave McCormick has kind of gone off back into the private sector. He's finishing his book. Same with Kathy Barnett. So some of it is due to name recognition for sure, but it is troubling to think that the voters are still with him even after he lost by 15 points, as you mentioned, and is being really loaded with, it's strung around his neck that he pulled down the rest of the ticket too. So he's got an awful lot of baggage.
And this is something you and I have talked about before, but this is not just happening in Pennsylvania. There is a new poll out today with Donald Trump crushing the field in a new Quinnipiac poll. Trump 46, DeSantis 32, Nikki Haley 5, Mike Pence 3, goes down Liz Cheney with 2, as if she's going to win the Republican primary. And then you've got in Arizona, Kari Lake, who is up in the poll for the Senate there, 36%, Ruben Gallego 32, Kirsten Sinema 14. It does seem that these more radical candidates, be it Trump, be it Mastriano, be it Kari Lake, still have a very serious amount of support, despite what it seems most of the Republican Party seems to want.
Yeah, well, they also haven't gone away. Since the election, all of them have made claims that there was fraud in their election, that something was stolen, and that is just constantly ginning up. They're constantly in touch with this base. Doug Mastriano said, there's 2.2 million people out there that love him. That's not actually true. There are 2.2 million people in Pennsylvania that pulled a lever for him because he was the Republican and he was thought to be the better alternative for Josh Shapiro. He's claiming a lot of support and a lot of mandate that he doesn't have. The others are doing the same thing, though, by keeping their far-right MAGA folks ginned up around these losing issues like fraud.
How does the Republican establishment, though, bridge this sort of what seems like this divide?
It's interesting. So Ron DeSantis will be back in the state speaking to the conservative Republicans April 1st. I think we'll see a lot of the presidential contenders starting to line up who their people are in the state and who they're going to support as a ticket. We had a really interesting announcement this week of former Congressman Lou Barletta and Tom Marino, who were both Trump supporters, have already come out and called for Ron DeSantis to officially announce. So it's going to be interesting to see where people are starting to line up. But I think they're going to start lining up as full tickets. Who are the DeSantis supporters? And then DeSantis will support them and, start raising money for them. It's definitely troubling to see this still out there in Pennsylvania because Doug Mastriano can't win a general and he'll pull the ticket down.
Right. That's the point. It used to be that Republicans were about winning. They made sure that they had a winning candidate and they would do what it takes to win. And it's starting to feel like that's not really the philosophy as much anymore.
And we're also just recycling old names, right?
Yeah.
Where's the bench? Who are we training up to be, who's coming next? There's a former congressman from Western PA named Keith Rothfuss who's thinking about getting in. He hasn't run for Senate. So, who knows? There are people out there, but
we'll see.
Who's going to win? Who can win a general is the question.
Alison Young, thank you. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.